Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today, two hard-hitting red phosphoru fast castle strategies walk into a bar as Survivalist, playing as the Portuguese in red, gets ready to take on the Bloodless, playing as the Malay in blue. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate and closed-off surroundings because we're on arena as we usually are with these two, and try to get their butts up to Castle Age ASAP. Not a bad time for us, gobble gobble, to take a look at the Civ matchup that we will be watching today. Interestingly enough, two pretty dominant water naval civilizations that Red Phosphoru has used to create these strategies, but in any event, neither here nor there. Not a single ounce of water. This is like the exact opposite of that Kevin Costner movie, that absolutely atrocious pile of cinematic garbage. I forget what it was called, Waterworld, I think. If you haven't seen it, go to YouTube, watch the clips, and revel at what used to be, what used to make it in Hollywood. In any event, like I said, neither here nor there. The exact opposite. There's no water on this map. So the Portuguese can't really use their caravels, but they are still a civilization whose strong economic bonuses allow it to take advantage of its insanely powerful gunpowder units to get an early game boost against your opponents. Portuguese foragers, well, these guys picking these berries also generate wood while they collect those berries. All of their units cost 20% less gold. All of their technologies are researched 25% faster, except for going up to the next age, which, speak of that, let's take a look at the Malay in a second. And once you do hit Imperial, if we're lucky enough to do so, well, you can build your unique structure, the Feitoria, an economic building that auto-generates all 4 resources at once, but it does take up 20 population space. Now, using these bonuses, these features, their massive economic power, the Portuguese can field a pretty impressive gunpowder-based army, since they have access to every single non-unique gunpowder unit in the game, and all these gunpowder units can be upgraded not only to fire more accurately at moving targets, think ballistics for gunpowder, but to also increase the speed of their projectiles so they kill you a lot quicker. These features obviously benefit their first unique unit, the Organ Gun. This is a gunpowder siege unit that fires 5 or 6 bullets in a small spread designed to hit multiple targets at once, and does come with a small attack bonus against infantry, skirmishers, and even buildings, which might be bad news bears for our Malay. As I'm going through these civs and then thinking about them, more and more I'm noticing similarities, at least on paper. The viewers of the channel, regular viewers, know I love to talk about the similarities between the civilizations. Whack. Let's take a look at their HP. Oh, no. Red is going down a little bit faster. So Survivalist, it does lose his scout. 3 whole HP left on the Bloodless. Let's see how many relics our red Portuguese has seen. Oh, man. He did not make it very far. He did not make it very far at all into the ether. Saw 1 relic. To be fair, 1 relic. Okay, I mean, it's close by. All right, well, let's take a look at the Malay, also a naval civilization, and also one that comes with a few late game land features that are incredibly powerful. To start with, their battle elephants are coming in at a nice discount, 25% off in the Castle Age, 35% off in Imperial. They get all infantry armor upgrades free of charge. Think like the Koreans get the archer armor upgrades free of charge. The Malay get the infantry, so we'll see at the top right of your screen, underneath the sword and those pretty silver scales, you'll see those boxes light up one at a time as we get into feudal, castle, and then, like I said, luckily, hopefully, into the Imperial. Now, these free infantry armor upgrades is fantastic news, because their militia line units, as the Malay, can be upgraded to turn them into trash units that cost no gold whatsoever. The Malay, remember, don't get champions, but when you combine this upgrade called Forced Levy with the upgrade called Supplies, which I believe is on its way out with the massive new leaked patch, although is it really leaked if Microsoft released it as well? Anyway, we'll get into that in a minute. I'm sure everybody's very excited about the 5 new civilizations, a whole bunch of new campaigns. In any event, when you combine Forced Levy with Supplies, which, to be fair, still does exist in this game, it turns the Malay two-handed swordsman into a fairly cheap trash unit that only costs 65 food. Now, lastly, to help you raid your opponent's base, the Malay can turn to their unique unit, the Karambit Warrior, basically the Zergling of Age of Empires 2, an incredibly cheap, fast, super cool unit, but on the whole kind of weak, that does only take up half a population space. So if you've got 20 of them, they only take up 10 population room. Now, to help you get these late game features, upgrades, ASA frickin' P, start spamming, whether it's cheaper elephants, two-handed swordsmen, or even karambits. the Malay, they advance to the next age 66% faster than everyone else. So you can rush, not to the yayo, but to the next age, or you can meander, pick some berries, go for a walk in this kind of maybe not really recommended in a rainforest. I don't know that you necessarily want to go walking without a guide in the rainforest, but if that's what you want to do, take a little bit of time, build up your economy, have some fun, light up a cigarette, have a sip of your beer, and then catch up to your opponent, because the Malay, man oh man, do they go up faster. So Survivalist, for example, who is housed right now as he clicks up, beautiful, will take 130 seconds, so 2 minutes 10 seconds to get up to feudal age. The Bloodless, 78, basically a minute 20. That is a huge, and that, by the way, gets better and better. Castle age, instead of 160 seconds, they take 96, and then instead of 190 to get up to Imperial, they take up 100. They take only 114 seconds, so just under 2 minutes compared to over 3 minutes, which is a huge advantage. Which is why the Bloodless doesn't seem to be really too concerned right now that he has 2 more villagers, 853 food, because his plan is to rush up to feudal. And when I say rush up to feudal, I really do mean it for the Malay. Rush. So I was thinking, before we get into the whole discussion of the patch, when I was thinking of the similarities, look at me, I'm following a thought through to the end. You got a civilization that has a unique economic structure, then you got a civilization that pretty much is the only one in the game. I mean, economic structures are not very common. You've got your caravanserai, you've got your feitoria, but a unique water naval structure, the Malay have. They can turn their docks into harbors which fire arrows. I don't think there are other unique naval structures, so this is quite a unique feature to the Malay, and I wonder if both of them being somewhat naval civilizations is why the developers decided to give them such powerful land-related features. Now, this is something you never want to do, FYI, in terms of gathering efficiency, because the farmers work the inside box of the farm. You never want to put a farm like this in a corner. Now, I'm not criticizing, not saying I would have done better. Probably not, and there it is again. But based on village drop-off and how they work and the amount of time it takes to walk to drop off the food, I believe it's not the most efficient compared to a side split. And look at that, 680 food. But Survivalist already heading up to the next age off of fewer villagers, getting those basic feudal age economic upgrades for his lumberjacks, for his farms, to make them a little bit more lush and bountiful. Whereas our Malay, the second he finishes market stable, will be able to click up. Now, even though Survivalist clicked up first, let's see who in fact will hit the castle age first. Come on. Oh, he's waiting for his villager to complete. So 133 to 125. Even though he clicked over a minute behind his opponent, they're mere seconds apart. How cool is that feature? Super cool. I'm assuming that our Malay has seen all 5 relics. I would be absolutely and devastatingly wrong, because he has not seen the one relic that's closer to him. So Survivalist died. Perhaps won't be remembered as the most famous of explorers. Not exactly Giovanni Cabotti or whatever John Cabot's real name was. Not really Magellan. Not really, Marco Polo here, having discovered almost nothing. That being said, our Malay, the Bloodless, also hasn't really discovered. But. Okay, there we go. Right as I start ranting about nonsense, as I tend to do, the Bloodless does discover the 5th relic. So the question is, who will aggress against who? Let's see what Survivalist has right now. Pardon me, I scraped my mouse against the table here. Defensive castle. He's been doing this a lot lately. And I wonder if this is with only 6 villagers on wood. Although really walled in his villagers here on the wood. We'll see if that's for organ guns and monks. That might be a cool way to start gathering relics. Usually on Arena, there's a 3-part stage meta plan that the game follows, whatever you want to call it. In the first, which we've just seen and experienced 15 minutes in, the players rush their butts up to Castle Age. Then they start pumping out monks to fight over the relics, to gather the relics. And once all 5 relics are taken to their natural, I guess it wouldn't be the natural museum, it would be the historical museums of the various civilizations, the monasteries, their various religious sites. Then stage 3 begins, where the players build armies, clash them into one another, and things go boom on this map. Really So it's like the Mission Impossible intro, you know, where that somebody lights that spark of that really, really long dynamite fuse, and it just is sparkling, sparkling, sparkling. Those are the first 2 stages, and then when it goes boom, that is stage 3. Now, the organ gun does have a minimum range of 1, so if cavalry can close, oh my, that's not supposed to happen. I don't think you're supposed to be able to kill a scout with an organ gun that easily. I mean, they basically, or was that the 3 HP scout? No, the 3 HP scout's still alive. No, that was a full health scout. That is not supposed to happen. Although, to be fair, that scout did run straight into that organ gun. And like various animal organs, did get grinded up and put into the pot o' stew. And now he's finally getting healed up. Just in time to face yet another organ gun. Okay, Survivalist spreading them quite nicely, making sure that if one gets attacked, another one can defend it. Again, I mean, that must... No. Was that the weaker one? There's so many weak scouts now out on the map, but Survivalist doing a great job, has taken the relic nearest him. And to be fair, the only relic he's seen, line of sight on the monk, is being used to send it out. By the way, line of sight on the organ gun isn't too shabby at all. I didn't know that it was that amazing. That is a huge amount of line of sight. That's almost monk level. Okay, a 3rd kill here for our Portuguese, who should discover relic top, relic bottom as he returns home. These are still just scouts, and there's redemption. Now, because the siege unit known as the organ gun does have siege armor, you do need redemption to convert it. And so maybe that's the name of the game for our Malay here. Forget gathering relics. You can send your little men with their sandals out to gather these gravity-defying things. I, on the other hand, will just convert your units, and that conversion has begun. Looks like another scout bit the dust, but all of a sudden, Survivalist is in a bit of trouble because his army is being turned against him, much like Wanda in Age of Ultron. So many movie references. I told you, sometimes I just go down a rabbit hole of movie references. A spell has been cast on this one organ gun. He might not want to move too quickly here. These monks are not exactly able to heal him. But, let's see. 3 monks, 3 organ guns. Relic count 1 to 1. We've seen Survivalists return home with this relic. We'll see if our Malay is returning home. There are no, because there are still 2 relics out on the map. Now, he might be able to push Survivalist off this one and get the one. Leave 2 monks to convert. That would be not bad at all. Is that what he's going to do? That's exactly what he's going to do. And has Survivalist... No, he has not seen... Oh, that is pretty close. So he might see it as he circumnavigates this entire map. Speaking of famous explorers here. But at the moment, monk and monk and monk and organ guns. And we are very quietly on the map. Not a lot of action. Love the chemtrails. This is one of the coolest additions to the game. When gunpowder units fire, to have the chemtrails show up. Another conversion. Double whammy, actually. Oh my goodness, they were stacked on one another. And then in comes another monk. So our Malay actually has more organ guns now than our Portuguese. Welcome to the wonky world of the spellcaster, the monk, who 23 minutes into the game has gotten a good amount of value out of that 100 gold that he's got to spend. Remember, if Survivalists wanted to contest this with monks, his monks only cost 80 gold. Every single unit for the Portuguese does cost 20% less gold. And unless I'm mistaken, I guess I can just check, they do get redemption as well. So he can reconvert these organ guns if he wanted to. What is Survivalist doing for now? Going up to 11 more villagers than his opponent. He's got triple TC action to the 1 TC action of his opponent. A university. For what exactly? Just a structure he needed to get up to the next age. And monk versus monk versus monk versus organ gun. So far, it looks like 2 blue monks are dead. Well, 2 red monks, 3 red monks, 4 red monks. Ooh, okay, our Portuguese is losing a lot of monks here. He is taking a lot of bullet fire. 1 more volley, and oh, ouch. The last 2 surviving pair running their asses into the TC. And Survivalist also loses his last organ gun. He's got no organ guns. Our Portuguese is getting gold mining, while our Malay is rushing, literally rushing his ass up to Imperial. 1 minute, 14 seconds, 830 stone. Not if, but where is the castle going to drop? And once it drops, okay, there's Now Survivalist is getting redemption. Okay, he's got 2 relics. 2 to 3 is not bad. Better than 1 to 4, better than 0 to 5. The problem is Survivalist has no map presence. And with no map presence, has no freaking clue where the hell the attack is coming from. Is it coming from the northeast, the northwest, just the north, period? Because there are some shitty little trees here that form a part of a wall off. Block printing, illumination. They're going to be able to convert from even more distance. They're going to be able to regenerate their faith more quickly. Do the Malay get... Oh, wow. Look at Survivalist Monk Micro. Not enough, though. Oh, no. 1 monk. What are these? Aztec monk? Bengali monks? How the hell are they not dying? 1, 2. Okay, look, that could have been a lot worse. If any other person had 6, 7 monks down here, they would have lost 6, 7 monks. Not Survivalist, who micros them and only loses 2. I was going to ask, do they have theocracy, the Malay? I don't know. I don't think they do. No, they don't. Theocracy is the upgrade where if you convert with all 6 monks, only one of them loses his faith. Has a crisis of faith, I guess. And the other ones retain all of their faith. And now, of course, the one arena game where I forget to look at where the internal resources are located because of potential monk laming and ranged unit laming is the one game where we actually see monk laming. So no more farms for you, no more lumberjacks for you. That's okay though. Survivalist got plenty of wood in the back. He's got plenty of wood to the left. These 6 original OG lumberjacks working their asses off in this little nook that they've created. And things are going real bad here for Survivalist. He's going to lose his one and only castle unless he wants to spend 350 stone repairing it, because he is 1.5 minutes away from Imperial, facing 2 Trebs, possibly 3 coming up. And I don't see him moving any villagers to repair this. I mean, this stone pile here, gold pile, excuse me, is nearby, but I don't see him allocating villagers. 1 more volley, castle falls, and then what? I guess you can go light cavalry and try to overwhelm. I mean, at this point, numbers is really what you have to rely on. Oh, he's going monk play. He's going up to 20 monks. So Survivalist thinks he can out-monk his opponent. And to be fair, Survivalist is known as a monk player extraordinaire. He's not bad with monks. He's made videos about how to micro your monks. And those videos are pretty good, pretty instructive. And relics have been shuttled to the rear. Fervor as well now. They're going to move a little bit faster. Let's see what upgrades he actually has. Redemption, Atonement, Sanctity, Fervor, and that's it. Okay. Let's see if that's what you need. That's all you really need. Now he's getting block printing. Now he's getting heresy. Now he's getting theocracy. Oh, yeah. Look, if you were to ask me, did you expect at the 30-minute mark of the game that you would be witnessing a monk war? I would have probably said absolutely not. Not sure this is exactly the direction I thought this game would take. And sniper lines, look at it, how beautiful it is. Now, monk play, not exactly everybody's cup of tea. Here come the karambits, just to cause a little bit more chaos, just to throw a wrench into the works, to make sure these monks have to heal one another and be microed even better. But Survivalist, mission accomplished for now. He's gotten a whole bunch of villager conversions. Unless I'm mistaken, 8 villager conversions here? Unless he brought his own farmers to attack. But blue doesn't have a single villa here. No more castle construction. It gets stopped at 75%. Not exactly a doubt castle. And villagers with loom taking on karambits, taking on monks. This is where a couple of organ guns would have come in real nice and handy. And the walls have been breached. The castle has been planted. More villagers are streaming forward, and karambits are just causing a general chaotic mess. The Bloodless needs to keep pressing. If he removes his foot off the gas, it's gonna go very bad for him, because Survivalist is gonna recoup with his massive economy. He's already ahead 11 villagers, although that number is falling as the converted organ guns keep firing more and more, and the castle will go up. Survivalist retreats. Looks like a monk. Somehow a monk's managed to survive that trebuchet attack round. And more karambits are being pumped out. Red villager dead. Red villagers on the right running away. Monks What's their faith like? Why is he running away? They're full faith. And now let's see who's gonna win it. The Karambit micro or the Monk micro. Defensive castle to the rear. Incredibly defensive castle to the rear. And we've got 17 Karambits here on the whole. 26 Karambits, which only take up 13 population space. Like I said, they are the AOE2 equivalent of an SC2 Zergling. Will he be able to do it? Will he be able to reclaim any of his former units? He gets one. Oh, another one probably will get converted but killed by the castle. Maybe, yeah. Oh, he gets all four, but oh, what a time. That was just a moment of pride. You know, some people have like pride. You know, they take things really seriously when someone insults them. They really want to do something before they tap out of a game. The fact that he GG'd immediately after he converted all four of the his former organ guns, literally got the conversion. Let's do it slow motion. And GG'd. That is just a matter of pride. Survivalist just demanded from himself, I want those 4 freaking units back. Except I don't think he said the word frickin'. Although to be fair, I don't think I've heard Survivalist swear ever on his casts. And so even though he's put up a decent Monk defense, I did not expect this game, number 1, to end after 34 minutes. But number 2, to go Monk versus organ gun, and then a bunch of Karambits in the middle of all of it, just running around causing chaos. This is a unit you can afford to throw away over and over and over again. They cost 15 gold, 25 food, 40 total resources on the hold, especially if you got map control, although map control with a small M and a C, because you're not exactly making use of your map control here very well. This was just used to be a 1 TC, 2 TC all-in push, and the all-in worked. I love the mixing in of Karambits. Just like I said, chaos. Look at the frocks, the smocks, whatever the hell those monks wear. There's one blue one, and then the rest are all red. That's because of those Zerglings that just showed up and caused, like Zerglings, causing chaos. And fantastic play. I'm really curious to see who got more conversions. 53 monks to 22, 33 Karambits. Isn't that funny? In the last minute or two only, but 33 of them, 7 organ guns. I'm surprised that the organ gun, if he had converted one more, it would have shown up here as the Bloodless's 3rd most trained unit, much like the 5 Karambit warriors are showing up as Survivalist's 3rd most trained unit. Peak APM for both of them, not exactly the highest, one at the end of the game, one at the beginning of the game. And let's see, economically, not too dissimilar. If you remove the relic, a little bit better, but about 10-15% apart, not the end of the world. Stone and food, wood and gold. So they've split up, carved them up. What do we think? I mean, we obviously know there's 5 Karambit conversions, but how many monk conversions and how many organ guns? I guess we know organ guns too. We just saw those 4. But a drum roll, I think total probably 20 to 25 between the 2 players. My God, that's it. I quit. I'm done. No more casting for me. I completely forgot about the villagers. I'm an idiot. I apologize. 20 between the 2 of them. It's 50 between the 2 of them. My God, I did not expect to see that this game. 6 raisings by our Malay as he busts his way into the base. 77 kills to 11, and the Bloodless killed 48 of Survivalist's villagers. To be fair, a bunch of them killed while, after they got converted, but still 48 villager kills to 0. And Survivalist ends the game, to be fair, only down about 10% economically, because he did have those 3 town centers, now 1 town center. And where are those 6 OG? Not too sure why I'm so obsessed with these 6 OG lumberjacks. Maybe just because they've been trapped here. I feel bad for them. They don't really know what sunlight feels like on their face with the wind and then the smell of a freshly baked chocolate chip cookie. They've just been stuck behind here, jacking their wood off in the corner where nobody can see them, nobody can find them. And I feel bad for them, but ultimately I don't feel bad for anyone, because we're looking at little units on a little screen killing each other. And the monk play out of Survivalist, I again apologize. I have 50 conversions between the 2 of them. Survivalist with the defensive conversions got a lot more, but not enough to stave off the attack of the Malay. And with his 2 TCs down, the castle here, and more importantly, the Karambits. I mean, you can convert knights, you can convert elephants, but if you're spending your faith converting this unit, that is not an effective use of faith. And that's exactly why he's spamming more and more of them. He can throw them away for days. Survivalist has absolutely no way out of this base. Not on the left, not on the right. He is stuck in here while his opponent has pure map control, and he realizes that, taps out. The Bloodless takes the W, but GG in a surprisingly fun monk game out of nowhere to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.